Hi guys, it's Jade Melody here and welcome back to my channel and to episode number 3 of my squat series, taking your squats from sloppy to sensational. So today we're going to be talking about a fundamental piece of the squat, which is the bracing. You may have heard this terminology before, to brace your core, or that bracing is really important, but what the hell even is bracing? Today you're going to learn what it is, how to do it, and how to improve it. So grab your notepad and pen to take some notes and get ready. We're going to dive straight into this episode number 3 on bracing. So question number 1 to answer is, how do you even brace your core and what should that even look like? So I'm going to give you a little bit of a demo. Watch really closely in my core here and listen to the words that I'm saying, and you should hopefully start to understand what bracing your core even is. Okay, so first things first, we're going to do a bit of a demo of what bracing is to try and give you a visual idea. So talking about that strong core in the middle. So if I don't go in for my bracing, this is what it looks like. My core is kind of activated, but I'm just going up and down and there's no real tightening of that core. Very easy for me to do that flop over that we just showed with that bar pad. However, this is what it will look like if I do brace. Now, if you watch at the top, I inhale, I expand my stomach, I squeeze and hold that expansion, then I go into the squat and I exhale it all out at the top. Again, I breathe, exhale the stomach, squeeze it in the stomach and go down. The key to this is inhaling into your stomach, not into your lungs and into your chest. As I'm breathing into brace, I'm breathing all the air into my stomach and holding it with my core. Now, this does not look the prettiest. You are never going to have the best angle in the world whilst doing this, and it's never going to make it look the most gorgeous, but it is important. So a little bit closer up with this, again, you can see breathing into my stomach, squeezing tight with my core, holding that tightness all the way to the top, in which I exhale the air and I start from the beginning. This is why a little bit of a pause in between your squats is important, because it allows you time to do this brace and this breath effectively instead of just rushing through it. So a second really important question to answer is, why is bracing even important? So you can show this and learn this in a couple different ways. One way is with a can, an empty can and a full can, and we can talk about how air makes a difference, but I don't have any cans right now, so I'm going to use the hip thrust bar pad way of teaching. So if you were to not brace your core and you were going down into a squat, you would be able to very easily crush yourself like this. You would not have anything strong in the center of your mass. So here is the top of you, here is the bottom of you, and because there's nothing really strong going on, you could easily just do this with your back, which, as you can probably presume, isn't going to be that comfortable. So as you're going down, a lot of weight on the top, and as you're pushing down, you might end up with a back doing a bit of this one. However, if we grab something really stable and put it in the center of you / our bar pad, just like one of these clips, if we put that in the center and we pretend that now that is your braced core, you'll notice that it's much more difficult for this to bend. And I swear I'm using all my force, a little bit embarrassing, that I can't bend this. And that is because there's something really strong in the center, holding the top piece and the bottom piece together and making them really, really strong so that they never really bend. Obviously, things happen and loads of force could make this bend, but because there's something really strong in the center, the physics tells us that that creates a much stronger top and bottom base. But if you don't brace your core and you just relax your core, that is when we get the snappy back. That is why bracing your core is going to be super important for a safe and efficient squat, because you don't want your back to do this. So something we can practice to improve the tightness in our core is something called vacuums. Now this looks scary, stay with me. You're going to release all the air in your lungs and then pull your core and your belly button in and up. You're going to hold it for as long as you kind of can, looking for 10-15 seconds, and then breathe and relax. Again, release all the air that you have, then suck the core back and up into your rib cage. It can take a little bit of practice to do this, and generally it can be quite hard to master, but over time you'll be able to get there. So again, it's all the air out, then pulling the belly button back and up and holding as tight as you can before releasing, relaxing and breathing for a second. You're really trying to hold that tight, what we call vacuumed position, for as long as you can. Even doing a couple of these a day is really going to help you to be able to hold your core tighter. Some other more kind of simple core stuff that you can do kind of in more of a circuit style is ones like these. So the first one we're going to go for here is all fours. We are going to elevate off the floor, so knees off the floor. We're going to go for a bear crawl, so it's going to be opposite hand and opposite leg forwards, and then swap, and then we'll go backwards. So we're going to go 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. Now the aim is to keep your back as flat as possible, almost as if you're carrying some books on your back the whole time you do this move, and keeping your core braced and tight throughout. This one's a really good one because your legs are moving as you're going for it, same as this next one, which we're going to stay in that same elevated position and then extend one leg back at a time. Now if you're struggling to do this, simply pop your knees on the floor and do it with your knees on the floor. Same here, imagine you're balancing books on your back and you're trying to keep everything as flat as possible. Like I said, if you're struggling, drop down to this position with knees on the floor, and you're trying to keep core really tight as you extend those legs. It's going to really help to teach your body to keep the core tight even whilst the legs are moving. Although stuff like planks can be great, that is just very still, and obviously in a squat we're actually moving around whilst trying to keep the core tight, so it's good to practice that. We are also going to try some more dynamic stuff with the plank, so we're going to grab one of these big Swiss balls and pop it on top of our mat. Now this one is a good way to make your plank a little bit more advanced and dynamic. So we're going to go into a forearm plank, but my forearms are going to be on the ball. I'm going to try and let my elbows drift forwards and then pull them back into my body. Again, trying to keep that core really tight, legs still, hips still, as if I'm balancing some books on my hips. I'm trying to keep everything engaged. I'm going to be moving my elbows out and in, whilst keeping that core as strong as possible. And that is it, guys. That is episode number 3 of my squat series, all boxed off. Hopefully you learned a little bit more about bracing, how to do it, why it's important, and also how to improve it. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to subscribe to my channel because we do have a few more episodes of the squat series to go, and we're ready to make those squats super sensational, so stick around for more videos like this. But if you did enjoy, make sure to leave me a comment saying that you did, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.